Hello, Lynn Tucker, Carnivore here. It has been a while, and I do apologize. Ribeye Ranger is out fishing with a friend of ours, a former vendor turned friend. Some of the videos that we did for QVC, his product was featured on the channel, and also he had his own business and wanted a demonstration video. So we did a longer version for him as well. We used his yard in many of our QVC short sales support videos. And it's just, I think the hammock and a couple other umbrella ones, because he had a beautiful property in San Diego and gorgeous pool, the whole thing, all the things you need to try to sell summer items were right there. And we were so grateful to see him again. His name is Phil, and it was really fun to do so. Had him over for dinner last night, made it carnivore. I did a little appetizer of sorted out the better pork rinds, because I don't know if you know, but when you're eating them out of the bag, a lot of times they can get a little too crunchy so that you might, hurt a tooth. So I kind of figured that one, sorted them out and made sure that was a little easier to deal with. And then little pieces of cheese. We had some smoked Gouda and cheddar, sharp cheddar that Ribeye Ranger Jim loves. So we did that, and then a nice big thick New York steak. And I was going to make Kiltz's ice cream, but we were all too full. So you can have social times with friends and not feel like you have to give them 16 sides and go crazy and go all out. So he had a great time. We did too. We were all three very full at the end of the evening. So it can be done, you guys. You can socialize and be a carnivore. It's okay. It's just that it's so much less expensive to go to Costco and buy a really nice cut of meat than to go out. Nowadays, we were just talking about that this morning. There was a commercial for a local restaurant that's a chain, and they said, it was like a twofer thing, and it was $25. And I went, okay, I don't need all the stuff that they're giving you. It's just a steak that we would be eating. $25 per person, that's $50. That's another 10. It's $25 because it's a thing of two. So another $5 for the tip, that's $30. Well, I'm sorry, but that's 3 steaks to me. Everything equals steak money. You know what I mean? Especially when you grill it at home. Ribeye Ranger's as good of a griller as he is. I can't justify it, because that would also mean, I figured out too, that would be 18 Black Angus chuck hamburger patties at Costco as well. It doesn't justify itself. And I'm sorry, I feel like with all of us turning carnivore, the restaurants may have to either get their act together or lose a lot of business, and the produce people, that would affect them too. So I can see why the backlash is where it is, but I'm sorry, our health means more to us than that. And speaking of passing on that information about our health being better for us, we have been planting carnivore seeds all along the way, whether it was at a fast food place that made charbroiled hamburgers, ordering patties, and going up to the counter and telling her why and giving out one of my reference cards with all our great YouTube doctors on it, and Homestead How, of course, our Mr. Inspiration himself, Carrie Mann, and then whether we went to get landscaping rocks, and we met a wonderful girl named Mercedes and talked about it with her, whether we're at Home Depot and we get a guy that's helping us find something. I mean, I'm trying to think of the other people too. Different contractors that come over, some to give us estimates for this job or that job. And we end up talking about carnivore and talking about how we loaded and unloaded 2 full pods. I mean, the big ones, 16 by 8 filled with furniture and washers and dryers and this bar that I'm sitting at, which was really heavy, and the bedroom furniture, everything that we had, dining room furniture, all by ourselves, and at late 60s, okay? And didn't hurt. You know, Jim's still got his little problem in his back from fighting bad guys and, you know, leaping tall buildings in a single bound, because you have to do that when you're a police officer sometimes. And riding horseback, because he was a horseback police officer too. And there's a lot of wear and tear there. Plus the fact he's just a boy. You know what I mean? Yes, I think you do. Any mom of a boy, I think you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so he still has that, and it bothers him a little bit. But I know that my shoulder from multiple injuries, and his knee and my elbow being broken trying to teach him ice skating and falling on it, and all the other things that you have broken or you have, you know, hurt over your life with a car accident or whatever, those all create that, you know, arthritis. And I know that without carnivore, it would be way worse. I mean, it's not even really noticeable in a day-to-day thing. It's just like after you overdo it, you realize it with carnivore. And then it heals really quickly too, where it doesn't bother you anymore. So we're normal human beings. We have normal human, you know, injuries happen to us. We have normal human bodily reactions, but the severity is less. The bones are stronger. The recovery time is so much quicker. I mean, take a look, and I do think it's a good idea if you have had anyone in your family that's had heart issues and has had a stroke, or they're worried about having one. Old Guy Carnivore, Mitch, do go to his YouTube channel, because he is going through the recovery after he had a brain injury. That's where he had the stroke. It wasn't carnivore that did it. It was carnivore that helped him to stabilize and then recover as fast as it did. Even the doctors told him that it was just like a mini stroke. It wasn't, you know, a super stroke. Like now there's variations. You either have one or you didn't have one, okay? And so he's recovering super fast. And I told him that they probably told you it was a mini one just because they didn't want you to think you recovered so fast from a real one. They're still doing these things to us. So everything they tell us in the medical profession, just like Dr. Barry says, they are our medical consultants. You factor in what they tell you, and you use your own common judgment, and then you use what you've researched, and you come to a decent conclusion for your body. I think that is a measured and respectable and reliable way of dealing with medical issues that you have. And try carnivore first, and then you can do drugs. You know what I mean? If it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, or you feel even the least bit better naturally after 90 days, because you need to give it time. It took you a long time to get the injury and to deal with the injury. It's not going to take you 3 seconds to get out of it. And we have to be measured about what we expect in our expectations. So that would always be my first step for everything, because I didn't need to go carnivore. I was 119 pounds. I was 5'4". I had decent blood work. I was exercising, you know, just around the house. I mean, heck, as women know, our little chores on a weekly basis provide a good deal of energy, you know, use. So I wasn't sitting around eating bonbons on the couch watching TV. I was doing things all the time. That's just the nature of who I am. So it wasn't as if I needed to. But I got to tell you, watching those Monday night lives, Dr. Barry and Nisha do at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, most Monday nights on YouTube, the comments that are written, the answers that are given, you learn so much. And then when you actually witness these people being told they aren't diabetic anymore, when they were told by their doctor, oh, that's a lifelong thing. Don't expect to ever get better from that. Take our medicine forever because it makes us money. No, Dr. Barry wants people to heal. Dr. Hampton wants people to heal. The American Diabetes Society to heal people, not keep them as customers for life. And speaking of Dr. Hampton, he did a video today that, as a former Minnesotan, I have to tell you about. It was very, very good. However, it was character building. It was challenging. It was back to, our origins oriented. And it was dealing with a plumbing problem that he had at his house and the fact that he had to take cold showers for a while. And so he took it as a personal challenge. I wrote to him that every day of my 19 years living in Minnesota was kind of like taking a cold shower. So, been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. Give me a palm tree. Another reason why we're in South Carolina. I get a palm tree on my car in the license plate. It's like I am a walking billboard for the icon of warmth and resort living. So, it's been fun being here. Go see Dr. Hampton's video because it's not only entertaining, but he makes a good point. We didn't always have warm showers. And when I was a kid, we had a brand new Jack LaLanne's health spa. We had the parking lot behind our house and a few other down the way. And then at the end of the block, it was the actual building itself, with the Atlas, Charles Atlas up there holding the globe. Well, inside, not only did they have all kinds of equipment to work out with, but in the back, there was a big pool. There was a eucalyptus room. So if you had a cold, you went in there. It was all this kind of amber, orange kind of glow to the room. And it smelled 100% like eucalyptus. So you're breathing in like Vicks Vapor Rub, you know what I mean? And then we had a steam room, so you could really steam all of the impurities out of your system. We had a dry sauna room, and then we had an ice pool. It was a very small circular pool with a handrail going down and steps going down in it. You went down one side, you went out the other side really quickly, and they had ice cubes coming out of a little tray from the wall, into the pool. So it was really cold. And I could see doing that after, the steam room where you're very, very warm or the sauna when you're really warm and then doing it. But just to take a cold shower, walking right in, I spent too long in the frozen tundra to think that's a good idea. And which brings me to Bill Knott, who thinks Alaska is so fabulous. Well, it's beautiful visually. But who wants to live in 40 degrees below zero and go, oh, well, that's just the way it is. Root-de-doot-de-doo. It's still May and it's cold. No. Anyway, enough of that. A little bit TMI of how Lynn wants sunshine. Play in the sunshine. Lift heavy things. Eat the right way and go out and play in the sunshine and get some exercise and do some walking. Get into nature again. That's what we've been doing. I started getting the border around the house, taking the grass down about 2 inches or so, and super easy here in South Carolina because it's such sandy soil. Like, try to do that in Texas. You hit a rock every 3 inches. It's impossible. So I did that around the perimeter of the house, and then Jim would take it out to our forest and deposit the grass that we want to grow anyway. After we clear some of the brush under the rest of the big trees, you're going to have sunshine back there, and we're going to have our own little cool forest, and maybe, make some interesting benches by watching a few YouTube videos of people that have made it out of everything that you can imagine that they have lying around. And make it really cute back there, and make it fun for the deer that you see residue from them, so they've got to be back there. And it's an acre and a third, where I think really only the first third is, maybe half is what we've cleared. So we have a whole nother half back there. The first third is the front yard and the house and a little bit of the backyard. And then the rest of it we cleared, or we're going to just clear the messy underbrush. And that's our next project, be it via help once our Texas house sells, or, maybe just little by us, because it's going to be so neat back there. I can hardly wait. And dug around this gorgeous, huge tree in our backyard. And then we went to this place that sells palm trees, among other things. And they also have landscaping rock. So we checked out what they had. They allow you to buy it by the truckload, like a quarter yard, a half yard, or tons. I don't know how they do it, but that's the way they used to do it in Texas, is by the yard. I think they do a pound here. And then fill the border in. And it's going to be little by little what we can do. I've repainted the shutters so that they're, a fresh, like a charcoal gray is what they are, and the front door. And we put a new front door handle on it, and things, And then I painted the mailbox post white with the black mailbox, and our house is white and gray and black. And put some of my favorite, I think they're pansies that are the orange ones, because me and orange. And the white, they like impatiens here. They don't like vincas. Vincas just grow like crazy in Texas. And I would think here too. They're little white flowers, and they're really pretty. And they just, handle the reproduction themselves. And they make for a really nice big bunch of white flowers growing wherever you want them to. And so life has been good. And we just haven't had a chance, again, to sit down and do a major video. This one's already way too long, but I just wanted to give you, however long you want to watch this, what's been going on over here. And we both feel really good. We're both eating, kind of boring. Jim's having his hamburger, the Chuck burger from Costco, in the morning with one egg. I'm having just a burger. At lunchtime, I'm having just a burger, and he's having a burger with cheese. So, and then dinner, we're having a steak. And it makes Costco runs real easy. It makes preparing real easy. It's the air fryer or the grill. And it makes, there's not a lot. We have to eat on our breadboards. It's so easy. I really hope that a lot of the people that we've talked to, including this absolutely wonderful girl that lives across the street and her husband, and their family and such, we were invited over there to a little party because, the Masters was happening over here, and we're so close to it. So they were having a little get together. And of course, when you're a carnivore and you've experienced this much healing, you just can't keep your mouth shut about wanting to heal everybody on earth, little by little. And this is that time of year when, whether it's spiritual healing or if it's physical healing, we've been given some beautiful blessings, and it will help us all if we just try carnivore. 30 days, then you decide. You can do anything for 30 days. And I think that's what we need to tell people. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but you've done crazier diets before and not had the same results and not felt as good as you possibly ever have in your life if you've had lifelong problems, and sleep good and energy and mental clarity. I mean, You got to try it. So that's what we've been trying to do is tell people and enjoy our lives, because now we can. And we have the energy to do it. So you go take on this day and many, many others past it. Have a wonderful week. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do a bigger video with you with Ribeye Ranger. Have fun. God bless y'all. See ya.